Dear learners, in this lesson we will learn about बे ग्रुप। अजीज़ तलबा, इस सबक में हम बे ग्रुप के बारे में बात करेंगे। इससे पहले हम अलिफ, लाम और मीम के बारे में सीख चुके हैं। तो हमारे यहाँ उर्दू में हर हर्फ की शक्लें बनती हैं। We have learnt about alif, lam, mim, and you have known that in Urdu language the alphabets turn into shapes, and we have learnt about the shapes of alif, lam, mim. Now in this lesson we will learn about the shapes of be. There are some alphabets in this group, and this group is called be group. So the 5 alphabets belong to this group will form the same shapes. They are different with each other only by dots and their positions. We make a shape and insert a dot. We call that in Urdu nukta. Insert a dot or nukta on it or in it and on different positions. They are different with each other only by these dots and their position. Be has 1 dot below. For example, we will take the alphabet be that has 1 dot, and the dot is below. The dot is inserted below. Noon and fe also have 1 dot, but at top. What is difference between be, noon and fe? The difference between is particularly with be and noon of dots. Be has 1 dot, noon has 1 dot, but be has 1 dot below and noon has 1 dot above. This is basic difference between be and noon. And fe also forms the same shape, but at the time you will learn that acts slightly different. And there are some other alphabets between be and noon. The only difference is in full form. Only difference is in full form. Be has been written in full form in one way, and noon goes to another way. Rest of the forms are same. Te and ye have 2 dots. Te above and ye below. When we write te, when we write ye in full form with 2 dots, that is similar or acts like be group. That is similar to be, pe, te. We want to convey this thing to you. You have to keep it in mind that between be and ye in short forms, there is a difference of dots. Also follows the same pattern of shapes to this group. The ye is written by 2 other ways. We know that choti ye, or we call it yae maruf, or badi ye, and we call it yae majhul. In detail we will talk about it at its place. When we will talk about ye, we will talk about it in detail, and there are many other things related to this ye group. We'll learn that at the time. Similar is the case with pe and se. They have 3 dots each, pe below and se above. Ba has 1 dot, noon has 1 dot, ba has above, ba has below, noon has above. Te has 2 dots, ye has 2 dots, te above, ye below. Now is se and pe. Pe has 3 dots, se has 3 dots, pe below and se above. This is difference between the dots make alphabets different to each other. This is the only difference here. They have 3 dots, so what we call se and pe. They have 3 dots each, pe below and se above. Alphabet te acts slightly different. It was created in a unique way. The alphabet toy, toy or thaw was inserted on groups like be, dal, re. By this way, they help to pronounce the Sanskrit and Hindi based sounds. Here we will talk about one alphabet that is called te. Te. It has the sound of or phoneme of te. And it alphabet te also belongs to be group. This group forms these shapes. You can see here there are 5 shapes. These shapes belong to B group. It means that B group works or acts by this way, by these short forms when words are constructed or formed from these alphabets. These are 5 shapes. You will learn them, you will remember them at its place. One full form and 4 short forms have this. We can see at the end there is one full form and rest are 4 short forms. Most of the alphabets form with first and last shape. A minimum number is formed with the second and third shapes. Fourth acts only with choti ye. There is a one form you can see from right side to left. The fourth that acts only with choti ye. Te has a different form at end that is similar to ha but with 2 dots. Te acts also with words of Arabic and that forms the shape of ha and at the end. Some important rules for writing Urdu alphabets, and you have to remember this. The distance from one tip of the pen to the other is called kat in Urdu. It is called kat. We call it kat when we write. This is distance from one tip of the pen to other. It is considered basic principle of writing. The measurement and texture of each letter depends on it. Error in it would be an error in the handwriting of the word. If you will make an error in kat, you will make error in word in form of in terms of writing. Kat is of 3 types: slant, तिरछा जिसको हम कहते हैं, we call it तिरछा, 2 dots combined, हम 2 डॉट को मिलाकर बनाते हैं, and point slant from top bottom like alif. We make a cut that is similar to alif. Keep it in mind. It is to remember that most of the alphabets have different names. When we read or study or talk about alphabets or pronounce alphabets, they have different names. We name them or pronounce them differently. From B group, we will see the different names of alphabets as well. We must know them because in our higher classes and discussions, you will find people will pronounce them differently. This will cause confusion in minds. So it is better to learn them as early as we will start. When we will start our discussion of B group, we will recall other names of alphabets as well. Revise and remind once again. Urdu uses the sounds of ba, bi, bu, be, ba. This indicates that every alphabet has basically 4 sounds. Cluster consonant rebounds like ba or ba. When an alphabet comes at end, it always comes with a cluster consonant. You have to remember this rule. When an alphabet in Urdu comes at end, it also comes with cluster consonant. That is, comes with jazm. We call it jazm, or we call it ye lafz sakin aaya hai. This alphabet has come as sakin, worked with cluster consonant, which causes break in it and sounds like ba, ab, कब, तब, पा, ta, la, ma. Why we pronounce it in this way? Because of jazm. We pronounce it in this way because of jazm, because every alphabet of word in Urdu at end comes with cluster consonant, or we can say in Urdu वो साकिन रहता है, आखिर के हर लफ्ज़ पर जज़्म आती है, यानी हरकत नहीं आती है बल्कि वो ठहर जाता है, तो उसकी आवाज़ जो निकलती है वो होती है ऐसे जैसे बा, पा, ता, ला, मा। तो ये कायदा, ये उसूल आपने याद रखना है। यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस रूल and it will help you to pronounce the Urdu words correctly. The short vowels sound like the A in English word about. We have three short vowels in Urdu, that is Zabar, Zer, Pesh. The A in English word, for example, A, we have English word about. It gives the sound of zabar, about. You can see it here, about. A gives the sound of zabar. And other word is the I or A in bin. It gives the sound of zair, bin, bin. Ba has the sound of B, zair, and noon comes as cluster consonant. With jazm, it gives the sound of n, bin. Bin. In ba there is diacritic mark, that is zer, यानी बा पे जेर है तो उसकी आवाज़ बनेगी बे, और इसके बाद जो लफ्ज़ है the word comes after it is noon, that is sakin, that will sound like n, bin, bin, because at noon we have to stop. And the third is pesh. For example, the U in put, the word put, it gives the sound of pesh. U here gives the sound of pesh, pu, put. It gives exact sound of pesh, put. The word put gives the sound of pesh, put. Pu has the pesh inserted above, and ta acts like cluster consonant because it comes at end of word, so it will stop and will be sakin because it is at end and it will work as sakin, put. This is the exact way of pronunciation of Urdu words which can't be fully extracted from the English because certain sounds do not have the equivalent in English or Roman script languages. We face some problems when we Romanize our words, our alphabet, especially in pronunciation. And in English or other Roman script languages, we do not have the equivalent sounds. Therefore, it is necessary to learn Urdu sounds by its own script and signs. You have to learn them by own script and by own sounds. And this course is designed for you to learn these sounds, learn the Urdu by its own sounds, by its own script, by its own phonemes. And we have long vowels also. We call them tawil musawwate. We have short vowels, we have long vowels. Short vowels are three: zabar, zer, pesh, and they sounds like, zabar sounds like u. We have learned them, about them, and we'll learn about them in a particular lesson. Now we'll talk about long vowels. After knowing the phonemes with diacritic marks, we would like to add some other phonemes which are used in Urdu. They are called long vowels. Tawil musawwate. We call them in Urdu tawil musawwate. They give long sound and works with some diacritic marks, or we can say into tawil musawwate or long vowels. Long vowels are written using the letters, for example, alif वाव, छोटी ये, बड़ी ये. They are combined with diacritic marks. The 7 long vowels in Urdu sound similar to these English sounds. The 7 long vowels in Urdu sound similar to these English sounds. The A in father, here we have a word of English, that is father. The A in it, when we will see this A in Urdu context, we called it is long vowel. It sounds long vowel of Urdu. It gives the sound of zabar plus alif. We can see here Urdu example in Urdu script father. That is, we have the alphabet fa. You will learn about it in later classes. We have alphabet fa, and after it followed by alif. After it has alif, we have a fa followed by alif. But the fa has in it diacritic mark zabar. Fa in it has zabar, and it becomes one phoneme, that is fa. And this fa is or a zabar followed by alif becomes one of Urdu long vowels. Zabar followed by alif becomes one of Urdu vowels, long vowels. We have example of father here. In the a or a here sounds like long vowel of Urdu. Father. Fa has zabar and followed by alif. It gives the sound of a. This is called a long vowel. The second example is the E in seed. We have another English word, seed, and it has two E. It gives the sound of zer. If we will write this word in Urdu, it will sound like E, C, and we use the word with zer. We'll say zer followed by ye. This is second long vowel of Urdu. Zer followed by ye, छोटी ये. अलिफ के बाद ज़बर के बाद अलिफ होगा तो एक वॉल बनता है. ज़ेर के बाद छोटी या होगी तो दूसरा वॉल बनता है. जैसे इंग्लिश का एक लफ्ज़ है, we have here an English word that is seed. Zer is followed by ya. This is another long vowel of English. It gives the sound of e. The seed. The u in boot, it gives the sound of pesh, plus short vowel. We shorten vowel in Urdu at many places. We will learn about it. We have here an example from English word boot. When we will pronounce it, we pronounce it quickly. Boot. That means we have shortened vowel, but this vowel is preceded by pesh, or we can say pesh followed by vav. पेश के बाद वाव होगा, बट दिस वाव इज शॉर्टन, मगर इस वाव को मुख्तसर किया जाता है, बूट. तो वी कॉल इट इन उर्दू वावे मुक्तफी. एंड अदर वर्ड इज हियर, अदर वॉल इज हियर. ऊ इन ऑर्डर, it gives the sound of zabar plus waw. Order. Zabar is followed by alif. We have to remember. Zabar can be followed by alif. Zabar can be followed by waw. Here, zabar is followed by waw. Order. When we will write order word in Urdu, we will write in after alif. We will insert waw. Order. This is another long vowel of Urdu, that is ज़बर is followed by वाव. यानी ज़बर के बाद जो वाव आता है तो वो हमारा एक और मुसव्वता बनता है. The A in Australia, it gives the sound of alif madda. मतलब हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया लफ्ज़ लिखेंगे, we'll write down Australia bird. that we will write that by alif madda. That's actually, we have learned about it. Alif madda is actually alif with zabar and after followed by another alif, and we have shortened it also in this form. We have named it as alif madda. It is equivalent to two alifs with zabar. The zabar in first alif. We have word here it is long vowel. It sounds long, so it is another long vowel of Urdu. Australia, Australia. The e in help, it gives the sound of zabar plus choti ya, and we have zabar followed by ya. Help, help, help. The a in alphabet, it gives the sound of badi majhul. Apple, apple, apple. It gives the sound of, we write apple word in Urdu, we can write in that with short form of ye, but when we will pronounce it, it gives the sound of badi ye or yae majhul. Apple. Alif followed by badi ye in its form. Apple, apple. This a in apple gives the sound of yae majhul. These are our long vowels which are used in Urdu, and they help us to pronounce the words exactly. The graph of Urdu diacritic marks and vowels, उर्दू मुसव्वतों का ग्राफ आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं, वो ये हैं उनके साथ। मसलन हम अलिफ को ले लेंगे, अलिफ के साथ ही क्योंकि आवाज़ें देते हैं ज़्यादातर, तो ये जो है ज़बर ज़ेर पेश, वी हैव ज़बर ज़ेर पेश हियर, और वो जब हम उनको अलिफ के साथ लगाते हैं, व्हेन वी इंसर्ट देम विथ अलिफ, वो कौन सी आवाज़ें देते हैं? We have some information about this, and we have learned some points about this graph or these sounds or these phonemes in our previous lessons. Here we'll add some long vowels also, but for clearance we will make a revision of these short vowels also. Zabar gives the sound of a, short a, and Zer gives the sound of short I, E, and Pesh gives the sound of short U. So we have three sounds with diacritic markers: a, e, u, ba, bi, bu. And with cluster consonant or jazm, it gives the sound of a, ba, la. And with long vowels, we have alif madda, a, it is equivalent to 2 alif. We have ow sound, we have oo sound, oont, we have e sound, e, alif with chotiya, we have a sound, apple, alif with badiya or yae majhul. These are our long vowels. This was some information about the Be group, and in this lesson we have learned about its forms, about its phonemes. I hope this lesson will help you to learn more about other words. I thank you.